Hello, this is Mr. Holmberg at 5th grade in Corvallis, Montana, Corvallis Middle School. And I'm here to teach you about a method for studying math facts, multiplication facts, that I call search and destroy. And what this is it's a better way, I believe, for students to study their math facts. So a traditional page of math facts might look like this. And the traditional approach to doing that would be for a student to start on the top of a column or a row or something like that and just progress through them. So they'd say 10 times 8, maybe this is an easy one for them, they go 80, and they go 3 times 8, maybe they have to count on their fingers, they're doing some sort of trick, or they solve, they say, well, 2 8s is 16 and I add a third, or whatever they're doing, it takes them whatever time, and they say, okay, that's 24. And then they move on to the next one, and it's 8 times 8, which requires them to do some new sort of trick to remember what 8 times 8 is, and they come up with 64. And then they go to the next one, and they have to come up with some new sort of trick because it's 5 times 8. Maybe they don't know that one. Eventually, they figure out it's 40. And by this time, the students spent a lot of effort coming up with 4 answers. But it goes up to another one here that's another different problem. So they go through whatever memory trick of solving. Perhaps they say, well, 3 times 8 and 3 times 8 would be 6 times 8 if I added 2 3 times 8s together. So 24 plus 24 is 48. You know, they go through all of this sort of thing, and they still have not seen any fact repeated. Well, students find this really frustrating because they do a lot of work and it takes them a very long time. It also does not rehearse the information particularly well. True, they are maybe sort of solving this, and then eventually, you know, if they have 3 times 8, eventually all the way down the column, they're going to see another 3 times 8. But you're really not sure. Are they going to remember the strategy they used above to solve it? Or are they going to mistake it? Or will they have given up by then? So I don't like asking students to do that. I think it's a really inefficient way to study, and it doesn't build much memory. Instead, I call search and destroy a better technique. And I've listed this right here in my homework assignment. So search and destroy. As you can see here, what's been done on this piece of paper is a student would find one answer, 10 times 8, and then they search for that answer out loud. And they say 80 every time they find a 10 times 8, or its reciprocal there, 8 times 10. So they're going to be looking for those, and that might take a student 10 or maybe 20 seconds to visually search all of these equations looking for the fact that they're studying. And that's just it. They're thinking about that fact, they're thinking about those numbers, and they're looking for this image. This image right here is just like a word. It's as if that's a letter, 10x8, and when they see this little short word, 10x8, it says 80. They're visually training their eye to see these two numbers and know that 80 belongs with it. This factor and this factor are this product, if you want to study it further. So it looks like this then. 3 times 8. The student still might have to do whatever they have to do to come up with the answer 3 times 8. Maybe they even grab a calculator if they have to. But the thing is, they say 3 times 8 and they say, oh, 24. They say it out loud. This is really important too. If your brain is thinking it, your mouth speaking it, your hand is writing it, and your ear is hearing it, that's a lot of brain activity to remember this. So 24, you found it. Now you go looking for it, and it looks and sounds like this. 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, 24. I found it on the bottom page. There it is. 24, 24, 24, 24, 24. 24 is right there. 24, 20, there's a 24. 24. Where's another 24? Where's another 24? Number 24 right there. And so the students are scanning through, and they go all the way down the page looking for this one fact. 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, and they found all of them. But that meant they rehearsed it for that long. It also means they're not going to look for 8 times 3 again. They're going to move on to another fact, like this. 8 and 8 hit the floor, pick them up is 64. Well, if you've got that in mind, now you're just looking for 8, 8, 64, 8, 8, 64. 8 and 8 is 64, 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 and you're rehearsing it. This is the sort of thing that builds memory for these factors and recognizing their product. What I also find is that students think that this is kind of more fun. It feels easier in a sense because they're only remembering something once. They don't solve all these different problems independently all those different times. So they're able to do it a lot faster, and they find that it works. Search and destroy is my method here. And I hope this helps. Have a good night.